What's up, man?
What up, bro? Been a minute.
Been a minute. What jersey is that? What are you rocking today?
No, best to ever do it. Walter Jones. Maybe you've heard of him. This is new spring collection.
Nice.
Tie dye.
Nice.
100 because he's top 100, which is pretty dope.
Oh yeah,
One of the greatest players to ever play.
top 100 in my book too. Just as a human being, man.
Yes.
Like I've gotten to now run into him a few times with you. Like I get to now say I run into Walter Jones from time to time. I'm getting nervous talking about him, but every time I'm around him, he doesn't make me nervous at all. He's just like he's the sweetest.
Big teddy bear.
Yeah, what a nice guy.
Great dude.
Speaking of great dudes, we got a great guest today.
Yeah, we do.
Oh yeah. Should we tease the audience a little bit with some clues?
I mean, you can, but your picture probably gives it away.
Oh yeah, hold on, I got to block. Oh, sorry. Good call. Well, if they're only listening to the podcast, they don't have the video.
Okay.
Right?
Well, those on Brinks TV know what's up. They saw it.
Yeah, that's true.
But those listening, here you go. Give them some clues.
All right. One clue: born on Christmas Day. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah.
Every Christmas, I wish him a happy birthday.
There's a clue. Local guy, Pacific Northwest guy.
Yeah.
That's another clue.
That's a strong clue.
That's a real strong clue.
Yeah.
Legend. Yeah. You know what? No, forget it. I'm too excited.
You're done? Yeah. Yeah.
Start going. And I'll introduce him and everything. I can't.
Let's go, fangirl.
And I'm geeked up. I'm ready to go. Let's do it. Too much coffee.
Are you kidding me? The Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
Believe the Seahawks. In Seattle, we all we got. We the champions coming for the spot. This the podcast with all the talk. Believe the Seahawks. Believe the Seahawks. In Seattle, we all we got. We the champions coming for the spot. This the podcast with all the talk. Believe the Seahawks.
Just in time for us to change the name of the show.
Yeah.
It's the Seahawks podcast on the Believe Sports Network, everybody. Welcome to the show. Brand new theme song. Shout out to our buddy B-Boy Fidget, local Seattle hip-hop artist. Also does the theme song for the show Release the Show, a Seattle Kraken podcast that's also on the Believe Sports Network. But we now have him doing our theme song, and he crushed it. And wasn't it awesome, Lofa?
That was great. Shout out to B-Boy.
Surprise. And shout out to producer Katie and producer Courtney and everybody for putting the video package together and getting that going. Sweet, man. And like I said, just in time for us to change the name of the show, or maybe not. I don't know. The thing is look, we want to sell some merch and stuff, and we're running into some trouble on websites because the name is Believe in Seahawks. And so, the name's Seahawks. So if anyone has any suggestions for a new title of the podcast or anything, we will take all suggestions, maybe put them in a bracket. You guys can vote out there. Maybe we'll come up with some suggestions, but regardless, welcome to the show, everybody. I am Seahawks superfan Brett Davern. He is Seahawks legend Lofa Tatupu. And as always, the show is brought to you by Bet Online, who continues to be the number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, including updated odds, NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures at betonline.ag. BetOnline, your continued source for all sports wagerings needs, including live betting, your favorite Vegas casino games. Oh, God, I got to get out of this. It's going downhill fast. It's super easy. Go to
betonline.ag.
Shoot the promo code.
Promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV.
That's
all
right. Spelled our way. 50%.
Moving on.
Okay. Without further ado,
get my man in here.
Let's get to our very special guest. Like I said, born on Christmas Day. He's a local guy. Truman Middle School, Wilson High School out of Tacoma. WSU Cougar, drafted in 2003, round 1, pick 11 for your Seahawks, a Pro Bowl, an All-Pro, the 35th anniversary Seahawks team, 21 career interceptions, 5 forced fumbles, 6 fumble recoveries, 2 touchdowns, 2 sacks.
Yeah, you are lying. You really did.
44 tackles. He's Marcus Trufant, everybody on the show. And I'm a super fan, people.
Hell of an intro. Hell of an intro.
Marcus, thank you so much for doing this, man. Thanks for being here. I mean, just I'm clearly a super fan. I know a lot of people listening are, and we're just happy to have you here.
Thanks, man. I am very excited to be here, man. That intro was everything. Second to the intro song of your show. I was over here getting busy doing a little two-step to it, but thank you guys for having me. Much appreciated.
Nice. We'll send you the MP3.
Okay, please do.
All right. Lofa, talk about when a young Lofa Tatupu was coming into the league and joining that locker room, and talk about the first time, or maybe that wasn't your first time meeting Marcus, but do you remember the first time you met Marcus?
First time meeting him was when I got up here, but I mean, I'm familiar with True because they were one of the only teams that beat us when I was at USC. They beat us in overtime up in the Palouse. Is that what it's called, True?
The Palouse, or Pullman, the Pullman. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they beat us 33-30 in overtime. It was nuts. They had a great squad. But, yeah, I'm well aware as a football fan, even before getting to Seattle and getting to become teammates with True, well aware of him and the family, because we're talking about several legends now. You know, so shout out to True and his brothers. Yeah, I mean, I've known them since they were little. It's incredible. Not just legends on the field for what they did, but also in the community. It's a family I've always looked up to and been grateful to spend time with.
Yeah, here. And True, do you remember a young Lofa Tatupu coming into the league?
Yeah, man. So personally, I was a pretty chill guy, pretty laid back in the locker room. I would never be the guy that's standing up on the tables, giving speeches, et cetera, et cetera. I would take care of my business, go out on the field and ball. And Lofa was that guy, man, a young guy that was coming in, but was here to make his mark and was here to play football. So, you know, I see a guy that's kind of a guy that's lead by example, that's not rah-rah, just real energy and realness. So, hey, man, I gravitated towards it quick. And, hey, man, after that, I guess the rest is history. So, yeah.
Well, and you guys already had that Pac-10 thing going on, too. Pac-10 back then, right?
Yes, way back in time. Right?
Thanks for aging us.
Hey, man, me too. You know, come on. Lofa and I graduated high school the same year. It's just
okay. Are you guys? 2000 or 2000 guys?
I don't even know. One? Oh, okay. Thanks for reminding me because I fucking forgot.
I was right before the Y2K. So I'm a 99 guy. So I was nervous when the 2000 was coming. I was shaking in my boots.
Hey, before we get to the NFL draft and the pros and everything, you want to talk a little college for 1 second? How are things looking for WSU this coming season?
Well, the Cougs have a way of figuring out how to scrap this thing and continue to go back to the drawing board, right? That's what it kind of been feeling like these last couple of years. They've had some good individuals coming out of there, guys that are doing their thing, but they've, I think the athletic director, Pat Chung over there, is really trying to put things together, and you bring in new coaches and you bring in players that want to be about Washington State. It's hard to recruit to Washington State, as you know. I went to Washington State because that was the only Pac-10 school at the time that I was going to get a scholarship to. So I went there and I made the best of it. But nowadays it's hard to get guys to come out there in the middle of nowhere. So you really got to search and you got to scratch and claw to find these guys that are really going to be about Pullman. And I think they're trying to figure that out. And especially on the defensive side, it's not so much about things that are past Mike Leach and the air raid offense, all this kind of stuff. I think they're really getting down and playing some all-around football. So I think they should be okay this year. I think they'll be okay.
Well, I mean, I'm still hurting from that Apple Cup last year because I'm a Husky fan, you know, so it's you guys
go Cougs.
So we'll see what happens.
Right.
But hey, moving on to the NFL draft.
Oh, you didn't want to talk about the Trojans?
No.
Okay,
of course we didn't.
Talk about them.
They had the greatest practice in the history of practice. That's what I read from Cowherd and I mean, yeah, I'm just saying that's got to be some special's got to be brewing down there.
This is why I didn't bring him up.
Don't let me say brewing. That was
we're
terrible.
talking about practice. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice.
Hey, we're gonna win the pack this year.
All right. All right.
Saying it right now.
Write it down. All right, fine. You got your second of Trojan football in there. You happy?
That's all I need.
All right, moving on. NFL draft coming up, guys. Our Seahawks. I mean, this is our draft preview episode. We got some questions from listeners that we'll get to. But kind of right off the bat, as you guys are seeing this thing unfold and we're getting closer and closer here, what do you think the Seahawks are going to do? And then we'll get to what you think maybe they should do. But, what do you think?
I'll let you start this off.
Of course you will. But you're the stat guy, Lofa.
I mean, if you want me to go there, I'll go there.
No. So to be honest, man, the draft and all this magic 8-ball type of stuff of what the Seahawks are going to do or what these guys from college are going to do is really
prognosticating
hard to figure out. Right. Yeah. So I'm not so much let's pick this guy and it's going to be perfect for us. I think as always, you win with defense, right? Starts with the defense, starts with the pass rush. I've always said that the best coverage you can have in the secondary is a sack, right? So you work to find that pass rusher in the draft. I know we got some guys here now that are doing their thing, but to find a special type of pass rusher changes your team. It changes the offense. It changes how teams scout you. It changes how teams have to prepare for you. So finding an elite pass rusher, I think, has to be top of mind for the Hawks. I know that may not be day one, but maybe a guy they can develop, et cetera, but finding those type of players, diamond in the rough is what Pete and John are kind of known for, but I think that has to be on top of their mind.
Yeah. I mean, well, you remember 06 and 7 when we got Julian Peterson, and now this wasn't draft, but you remember how amazing our lives were, True. Right. When him and Kearney came over, and we're sitting back catching interceptions. So
100%, yeah.
I think you had 6 that
we're getting cashed out.
Yeah, I had 3. It was just a good time, man.
Yes, sir.
But so absolutely right with that pass rush. It's a much needed element for any team. But there's some things I look back at this draft, and it kind of reminds me back of 2010 when the quarterback in the middle, linebacker left, me and Hasselbeck left, and you were still here, so you could probably speak to it more. But as we were bringing in those players, it was like best available, right? And we were just getting some absolute monsters. So like the 2010 draft was amazing, and I saw that while I was here. But then in 11 and 12, they just kept hitting with, and there wasn't always a first rounder. I mean, Bobby was second, Russ was third. KJ was he 4th, I think, and Sherm 5th. It's just, I think we go back to that, let's get back to just competitive ball at every position. And I think that's where they're going to go. So there's just like True said, I don't really have a guy that I'm like, oh, I want him at 9 or, we need him. And every time I've guessed, I was fucking wrong. Like they just like, I was like, we're not going to take a linebacker in the first round. I turned the draft off like 2 picks before us. And then my phone's blowing up, radio interviews like, yo, what do you think about the new kid? And I was like, who? They're like, you guys drafted Brooks? And I was like, oh, shit, I got to go back and watch him. So it's like, let me call you back in like 20 minutes. But even when I was with the Seahawks coaching, they threw me for a curveball. We trade back and we'd still get the guy we wanted, like Jaron Reed in the second round. So I got confidence that, they're going to do some special things in this one. And, I just can't wait to see what happens. But wouldn't mind going with that if he's there. The kid from Bama, the tackle, Neal, can play all positions. He can probably play center, but he hasn't played center. And so that kind of flexibility on the O-line, it's so valuable.
Okay. So surprise, the defensive guys want to go defense.
I do. I want to go pass rusher. If Thibodeau's there. But
okay, but that's what I was going to ask, because let's talk about the first round. I mean, come on, that's what everyone's talking about. They got the 9th pick right here. It's what everyone wants to talk about first anyway. And the Seahawks do. They trade back a lot. They like to get more picks. They like to get value for those first round picks and turn them into more draft picks. But like if that guy's there, you see them picking at 9, or are they going to trade back? Are we going to not have a draft pick that first night again? I mean, is that game?
No, we're picking. We're
and there at number 9, or do they have to trade?
If I don't care if we're not 9, we're trading back a couple spots if someone wants to jump up to get someone in particular, and we'll have 2 number 1s or a 1 and a couple 2s, because we're definitely picking on that first round. And because we just there's a lot of good players in this draft. It's deep because at every position because of COVID, and a lot of guys opted to come back for a 5th year. And now it's
a good point.
Yeah, so that's
Wait, let me give you hold on, you get it there.
The fuck was that? Oh, that's your new. We got a new soundboard. True.
Soundboard,
I like it, man. I like it.
I like playing
that.
games and shit, man.
No, I'm so excited to hear you say that because draft after draft after draft, I sit there through the first round, and luckily we're usually picking towards the end of the first round, and I sit there the whole time waiting for the Seahawks to draft, and then we trade out of it, and it feels like I wasted the whole evening. So I want to see them pick, somebody. It's way more exciting, True. So if he's there at 9, a defensive end, something like that, they're taking him, right?
I think so, man. I think there's 2 parts to this, right? You have exactly what is good for the team, and of course, you want to find a young guy that's got that type of skill, right? That could change the way that people look at your franchise. And then at the same time, there's been a lot of stuff that's happened this offseason. So the fan base is hungry, and the business of the Seahawks to find that guy to kind of bring the 12s back into the fold, I think that's a part of it too. And we could say that it's really all about football, and Pete and John are going to do the right thing, but that's the business side of it too. You got to keep your fan base happy, and you kind of got to toe that line, right? So I do think that a first round pick, somebody with a big name, somebody that can make a huge splash, and then somebody that we could get excited about. I think it's very important. And excuse me, my dog just ran down here, so I'm gonna let the kids.
Well, and then another point that we think about is Clint Hurt, the new D coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Loves D lineman. He was the former D line coach. You never know what kind of say he has in that. Like, hey, let's go get some more dogs up front.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you just point blank. Do they draft a quarterback, and if so, what round?
I think so, but I think it's going to be like 2nd or 3rd. I don't think it'll be 9th.
Still 2nd or 3rd round quarterback, though. I mean, raise some eyebrows with that. I mean, that's a.
Well, I mean, I think they got a year to find out what Locke has, right?
Right.
And from there, I mean, he's got to be getting up there in age anyways with his, looking for a new deal. So it's like they're going to have to make a decision whether to pay him or not if he plays well. So,
well, and just re-signed Geno.
I love Geno. I'll ride with Geno.
Yeah, man. No, me too. Geno time. I mean, I'm fine with it. He knows the system, right? You got to have someone there who at least knows it. So
Haddison every game. Haddison every game. It just came down to the last possession.
Yeah. I mean, look, good deal for Geno, and so he's back. So you figure that's one spot already, right? And then so Drew Locke would be the second one, and then if they draft someone, that would be 3. So I don't know. True. Do they take a quarterback, and if so, what round?
I think I'm gonna agree with Lofa on this one. I think they take a guy in the later rounds, in the 3rd, potentially 2nd, but maybe like 3rd, 4th round. Mm-hmm. And I think really with that mindset, you do want to beef up your defense. I'm gonna go to the defense again because the defense is gonna help a quarterback, potentially a young quarterback or a quarterback that's not. You can go ahead and say that's not a Russell Wilson, right?
I have heard defense wins championships.
That's what I've heard that quite a few times as well. Yeah. So you build your defense up to help those quarterbacks. And again, you're helping your franchise, you're helping your fans. If the defense is showing out and balling and doing their thing and giving the ball back to the quarterback, that's going to make his life a lot easier. So I don't think they're going to go quarterback early. So no.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a big one, guys. This is a draft that I think a lot of Seahawks fans are thinking, positive or negative. 10 years from now, we're going to look back at this draft. I mean, like Lofa said, the quarterbacks traded away, middle linebacker, gone. I mean, signing with the Rams, which we haven't even talked about that yet. Like, ouch. Man.
We're going to have a lot to talk about that one.
That uniform is going to look weird. But so, I mean, this is a big one. This is like a make or break draft right now. And Pete and John, I mean, they stayed. And so a lot, a lot rides on this draft, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think so too. But this is what Pete and John kind of shine in these situations as far as from the outside looking in, right? They kind of welcome this pressure and they find ways to navigate through it and still come out pretty much on top, right? So I'm not going to count them out. I know it's a lot of pressure on, but they know what they're doing. So I think they'll make the right move.
Yeah. I think, if it really is a rebuild, they've done it once. They can do it again. It wasn't fucking luck. Like they acquired all those players. So they've got experience in doing this and they can do it
and then
again.
They got rid of a ton of players too, right? In the very beginning.
Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, what are you doing? And
right.
It was like a rough year. It was like 8-8. It wasn't even bad. It's not our standards, but it wasn't bad. And, we went 7-9, won the division the year before. So when we went 8-8, we didn't go to the playoffs. Everybody's like, oh, we suck. And it's like, well, dude, we had a better record.
Relax.
And then that next year, that 12, man, towards the end of December, that 2012 team may have been the strongest team. And I mean, you were there, true. That defense was shutting people out. The offense was putting up 50. We didn't see that again. In 13, it was some, blowouts, but not like 12. 12 was insane.
Yeah. We have a question on Twitter about the drafts, more specifically about beverages, I think, or something. Do you guys want to put that one up? It came in on Lofa's Twitter account.
Of course it did.
Let's see. So Lofa said, gearing up for our draft episode, send in your questions. And somebody said, how many beer will you crush during the draft? Question.
Singular.
Well, I don't know about you, True, but I'm going to be drinking Campo Veda tequila because I only drink tequila. And I know, we enjoy that brand very much. Right, True?
What about Lofa to two brews?
Oh, well, that's in the makings. So if that happens, I'm thinking about a double IPA, True, called Lofa to two brews.
Nice.
But
man, I might need a true brew.
Ooh, a true brew.
A true brew.
We could develop a whole line for them.
A sample pack, maybe.
Yeah.
A Lofa
game.
Georgetown Brewery, right? That's what we need to talk to.
I was going to come there, man, and kick it with you guys. I think COVID shut me down. No, I wanted to come hang out with you guys down there. So that would have been cool.
We'll make it happen.
Oh, we'll make it happen. True. What are you sipping on during the draft? Besides the tequila, give it a shout out one more time, Lofa.
Campo Veda tequila.
Campo Veda. You got a website for that, Lofa?
Siptequila.com. There you go.
Siptequila.com. Interesting.
Got you, bro.
Okay.
That's where you
I'm
can
going to have
get
to check that out.
No, we need a promo code, maybe a new sponsor.
I don't have a promo code. Maybe we
got to ask Babino for the details,
Babino,
right?
Big play.
But yeah, man, doing draft.
Void Whipper.
They're doing draft. They're doing any point that I could hide from the kids. I'll be drinking a little bit of everything. I'm a Crown Royal guy. I like my cognacs, but brews. I like my hazies. I like my dark beer. So I'll do that, man. So I would say just bring it on draft and let's get faded. Let's make it work, huh?
I'm in. You have me at faded.
I mean, don't take much for loaf, right?
You have me at faded.
Sound effect for that. Hold on.
Oh.
All right. Well, hey, speaking of what the Seahawks have been doing, they've been doing things, not just with the draft coming up. They've also been making a lot of moves. And True, I just want to get your thoughts. We had KJ on last episode. You guys can go back and listen to that episode. It's out there. Find it wherever you find podcasts. Just search for us. But True, what do you think about the moves these Seahawks have been making? Because there's been a lot and some big names.
Right.
Big names.
And man, it's a part of it, man. It's a part of kind of predicting the future, right? If you're running the business and you got to have an open mind and you got to look a couple years down the road, right? It just can't always be right now. I mean, and where your emotions at. And the guys that we had on the team are definitely our guys, and you want to be able to keep them forever. But in most cases, that's not a realistic situation. So, as you know, I'm not in the locker room. I'm not a coach. I'm not a part of those conversations there. But as far as Russ, I've always felt like that in the back of his mind, he wants to prove to everybody that he can do his thing outside of Pete. Kind of like the Tom Brady effect, right? I can go to other teams. I can still be me. I could bring a championship. I could bring a Super Bowl to another team, and it kind of make it happen like that. And that's okay. I feel like that's fine. So as far as the fan base here, and people were crushed, right? Crushed by the Russell Wilson. They're crushed by the Bobby Wagner move, and the fans didn't like exactly how they did Bobby. I know Bobby didn't like it. He felt a certain way about it. So of course you go to the Rams. Of course you want to play against the Seahawks twice a year. So it comes down to the business part of it. I know it's competition for the guys that left here, that they're going to want to make their mark, but it's just a part of the game, man. And as you see now, the energy has died down. So people were really high for 1 second and upset, and everybody with the knee-jerk reactions. But let's just settle in and let's see what could happen. It won't be the last time that some of our favorite players won't be on the team anymore. So
I know. As sports fans, it's like we know it's coming. It's inevitable, whether it's through retirement or any of those other things. But it hurts, But how do you? I mean, the AFC West though, going to Denver. I mean, that's a tough division. How do you see the Broncos doing next year?
I guess on paper they should be really good as far as I'm concerned. So I know the defense is balling over there, so I think they'll be good. And you insert Russ, you immediately on paper you become a contender. So I think that everybody in that division is going to have to plan for Russ and get ready for that. And they really don't know what to expect. So you got to plan for everything, right? So I think they'll be pretty good. I think we'll be shocked and we'll probably hate it as Seahawks fans, but that's the way of the world, right?
That's how it goes. Yeah, I guess so. We have a question for True on Twitter. You guys want to put that one up? And I don't want to. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So they said, teammate that he played with that could have played any sport.
I know we got a guy. I know of a guy. There's a couple guys. Lofa, of course, is one of those guys. He's a big, swole guy, but he's agile at the same time, kind of like a little guy, right? He can play basketball. He can move his feet. Probably pretty good at pickleball too, right, Lof?
I haven't tried that, but any sport. Like Anthony Edwards, any sport.
Yeah, you figure he's got to be able to box out, play a little defense.
Any sport.
And another guy,
any sport?
by the name of Seneca Wallace.
Yeah, that's who I was going to go with. Crazy
athlete, crazy on the basketball court. I think he played in the flag football deal a couple years ago. I don't know if that was right before COVID or not, but Seneca Wallace, awesome athlete, could play baseball, could do it all. I just remember going to play basketball with him, and I was like, man, this dude is unreal. So
he had
so my number one is Lofa, and my number two is Seneca.
That's my dog.
It's
my coop. Sorry,
if you guys out there want to, I'm trying to do a segue here. I don't know. It's Athletic Greens, everybody. They're vitamins, and so they might help you play sports better. Is that nailed it? Tons of people take multivitamins, but it's important to choose one that is top quality. With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens that start your day off right. Gut health, nervous system, your immune system, energy, recovery, focus, and aging. Reclaim your health and arm your immune system with daily nutrition. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/believe. That's BLEAV spelled our way. Oh, it's not a promo code, Lofa. It's just / wait, hold on. So we got to tag team this thing. All right. Yeah, athleticgreens.com/believe.
BLEAV.
There you go. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/believe. BLEAV. Disclaimer. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
But they might make you as athletic as me and True.
Maybe. I've actually tried that stuff, man. It's not bad. You know, some of that stuff is nasty, but that stuff's pretty good.
Really? And it gives you a little boost?
Mm-hmm.
Next time you order, go /believe on them and, let them know we sent you. You guys, I don't really have anything else. Do you guys have anything else to add before we wrap this puppy up? Any old stories you want to tell? Any you know what? Actually, we've asked people from time to time. Well, I thought
don't ask me if I have something. Then
take it back.
I have something.
Unbelievable.
No, listen. You know when you're fishing, you kind of
just go, man. Just go.
You pull it back.
I don't want
just go, man.
Analogy. Just go.
All right. I usually ask people, and I'd be remiss if I didn't, but we've asked other players before in the past, a favorite play that you had from your days.
Favorite play. I
can think of three.
One of the plays that I remember the most, or I don't know, I got tons of plays actually, but I'm able to tell my kids nowadays. I always go to the Hall of Fame type of guys that I played against, right? I'm able to brag because I picked off Brett Favre. I'm able to brag to my kids and say that I guarded Randy Moss and didn't get mossed, right? Played against Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, and got some interceptions off those guys. So those type of big-time guys I like to name, associate, especially when I'm talking to my kids because they just think I'm an old guy that's not very cool now. So to get a little bit of my swag back, that's what I do, man. And the year that we went to the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl that this organization went to, beating the Carolina Packers at home, beating the Carolina Panthers at home in front of our crowd was one of the best feelings that I had in sports, right? As you're on your way to the Super Bowl, you do it in your home stadium. You run around, you get the high five, they hold up the trophy, et cetera, et cetera. It was really dope, and I'll never forget that. Even though we lost that Super Bowl, but the feeling was still real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember, was it 3? Did you have 3 or 4 in one game?
I've had 3 in one game a couple of times. I feel like you stole a couple from me on that highlight. I was watching there. I think it was the Carolina game.
Yeah. But I remember, Arizona, was it? Arizona? And then you capped it off with you took it all the way back.
To the crib.
That's the one I remember. 65 yards, 70 yards.
Yeah. In Philly, Lofa, I thought you had like 3 against Philly 1 year, right?
Yeah. See, I thought because I think that's the franchise record, so we're all tied.
But
baller.
You're a baller, dude. I don't know if I ever told you that.
It was a lucky game, man. Just in the right place, right time. Yeah. But I dropped one, actually. I dropped a stick knot. It could have been 4. What a loser. But
one of the best TD celebrations of all time with going Rocky on the goalpost in Philly.
Yeah. Well, that was the Kenny Norton Jr. Says true. John Marshall and Ray Bob, they coach Kenny, right? And so
yes.
I told John Marshall, it was my rookie year, and I was like, I'm going to score, and I got a familiar dance you guys might remember. And so Monday night we needed that game to clinch the playoff spot, and John Marshall comes over to me. He's like, "Hey man, when are we going to see this touchdown dance of yours? It's been 10 weeks, 11 weeks now. You were talking a lot of shit. Where's it at?" I go, "I'm going to do it tonight." And just keep watching. And I did it. So I went over and I hit the Kenny Norton, against the goal post, giving the hooks, throwing the hooks. But
Yeah, the rib shots. The rib shots.
For Philly. Okay.
yeah. No, Rocky Balboa is not a real person. Does everybody know that?
You don't have to tell.
Or is he?
Well, there's a documentary about a real guy that might have the exact same life as Rocky, and maybe Sly knows it and
They
wrote
have a
script.
statue of a guy named Rocky Balboa, not the actual person. So am I the only one? Am I taking crazy pills over here?
Rocky
Hey.
Balboa is in the Boxing Hall of Fame.
It's even worse. That's even. All right.
I thought if it was on TV, I thought it was real, right?
Oh.
So, hey,
No,
you got me
that's
sold.
That's Instagram or the internet. But
Creed,
so
you
we
got
have a dispute, and we need you to
Clubber
settle
Lang
this.
and Drago. All those guys are real in my book.
Yeah.
So Brett, and then our team, whoever, we played credit card lotto the other day.
Oh yeah.
And so is it the first name or the last name, the first card to get pulled or the last one to get pulled? You guys tell us how you.
Oh,
know
that's
it.
like credit card roulette. If it's the last one to get
So
pulled.
true. You were right.
So wait, so hold on, but there's kind of two ways to play the game, right? Like,
Yes.
if you guys don't, so if you go out to dinner, everybody throws their credit cards in the middle, and then it's a terrible. It can be a terrible game, or it
so
can be the greatest game
Starting
ever.
to feel like I got hustled.
You did. You
Starting
got
to feel like
hustled.
I've
So
been
bad
hustled. I've been
enough.
Hold on.
had.
There's two ways to play. I've played before where you just reach into like a basket or a hat
Yeah.
and pull out a credit card, and whatever one you pull out pays.
Yes.
So
I've
that's
played that way.
that's lotto,
Or I've
right?
played you pull one out at a time, and the last one remaining pays.
and that's roulette,
So-
right?
That's roulette.
So the first one's lotto,
That's roulette.
last one's roulette. Okay,
Yeah.
so Bav
Yeah.
said lotto. His card was pulled, and I didn't even hear him. I did, after the video, because then True was like, "Wait a minute, no, you have to pay." And there's a lot of discrepancies about this one. So
A lot of discrepancies.
I think
yes.
you got hosed on this one, my man. So we're
I
gonna
know.
first of all, I played credit card, whatever, lotto roulette with Babs like maybe 100 times, and I've never seen this guy lose. Like,
Babs
why
can
he
be a
keeps-
tricky guy.
that's why he keeps wanting
Babs
to
can
play.
be a tricky guy. Pretty
Yeah.
slippery.
So what happened? So so he said lotto, his card got pulled first, but then he said lotto.
Oh, it's
meant
the last one. It's the
that-
last one, guys.
And
It's
the
the
last
last
one
one.
you
that
were
gets pulled.
last.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it came
I
out
was
being
last.
true.
I was last, and being a
And
good
then-
sport, but I knew that I had been had, and I'm still kind of
Yeah.
fighting with that to this day. But
There was a
But
lot
I
of
will
people
get
in the
my
comment
revenge.
section. There's a lot
I'll
of
get
yeah.
my
I think
yeah.
we
Is it
can-
lotto
we can
or is it
plan-
roulette?
We can
So
plan the revenge too.
Oh
I didn't
yeah,
know there was two
Let's set Babs
types.
up.
Let's get.
we'll
Babs
put this
to
clip on at Believe in Seahawks on Twitter and Instagram. Everybody, we'll get some comments going. Where was this? You guys want to give a shout out?
Central Bar?
Central Bar, yeah.
Yeah. Happy hour. We'll be there again this week.
Yep.
Lofa, what was your one more thing from a bit ago?
That was it.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, there's a
Well, then
dispute
I'm
that we
done.
got to settle.
Wrap the show then. Let's hit the theme song. Let's get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us on this episode of what is still called Believe in Seahawks,
For
but
now.
it might change. You guys can find us on all social media at Believe in Seahawks still. You can email us Seahawkspod@gmail.com. This is one of the problems. The email address is seahawkspod@gmail.com.
Drew, where can I find you?
You can find me at Marcus_Trufant on IG. And we have a podcast, family podcast, Truly Unruly _podcast. Check me out.
Check them out, everybody.
In the barbershop.
Subscribe.
And the barbershop, yeah. At Barbershop Show on IG.
Busy
Yes.
man.
Oh,
Just like you, Brett and Katie.
All kinds of stuff going on. We will link you to all of that. And as always, thank you guys for joining us. Lofa, everybody, hands in the middle.
We
True.
break it down, True.
Just like as if we were at practice or
Yep.
whatever. Why don't you break us down since you're our guest, please, if you don't mind.
Oh, all right. Do we go
Whatever you want on 3. And then you should have
Believe.
1, 2, 3,
in the Seahawks on 3?
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Believe in the Seahawks.
Fuck.
Matrix.
Oh, that was awesome.